If this is on your For You page, please share it to spread awareness. Trust me, it's worth it. Let's get it. Ain't nobody ever say that all lives don't matter, but black lives are treated different, and that's always been a pattern. That doesn't mean if your white life is handed on a platter, but we live in white America. Y'all always been a master. Remember 500 years ago, you brought us here from Africa. Forced us into slavery, we whipped, beat up, and battered us. Taught the tears in our eyes, and you still continued attacking us. We standing for our rights. Now y'all are the ones that's mad at us. How I feel to be white. We will never understand how it feels to have rights. How it feels to get put over and not fear for your life. How it feels to never question if you dying tonight, right? That's how it is, and you know that it's true. We've been fighting every day, but we don't know what to do. Cause every day the white man is deciding our plan. We will never understand how good it feels to be you, You ever thought about that? Would your life still be the same if your mama was black? Would your life still be the same if your daddy was black? Would your life still be the same if your brother was black? Nah, I bet it wouldn't. I bet when you woke up and tried to function that you couldn't. I bet if you woke up right now when you were a black child, that all of your life goals will be ruined. Thanks.
If you're seeing this right now, like, comment, share, copy, link, you know the whole shit for algorithm. Okay, so for all my youngins out there, when we go back to school and we're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, don't stand up for shit. In fact, if you want to take it a step farther, kneel. We'll call it the Kaepernick.
This is America. Don't got you slipping up. Look up.
If you hate black people, keep scrolling. Just get your ass out of here. If you love black people, like this video. Black Lives Matter, 100%.
I want to bring light to a person whose death has not been talked about enough in the black community and just in general. So this is Kendrick Johnson, and he was murdered on January 11, 2013. His body was found rolled up in this mat at school, which is just completely disturbing. Detectives ruled this an accident, which is completely absurd, but I'll get into why they ruled it as an accident later. Detectives said that he went into the mat to retrieve his shoe and he got stuck and suffocated. His family did not believe this, so they did some digging on their own and hired somebody to actually check out his body. It turns out that he died from blunt force trauma. It is suspected that 2 white males that went to his school actually killed him because they were seen on video coming into the gymnasium after him. It was later found out that he was stuffed with newspaper too. He had no organs or intestine. I believe one of the boys' dad actually was a police officer, which is why this was so easy to cover up. His family sued, but that would never bring back Kendrick Johnson, and that would never bring actual justice.
As most of you know, I'm a barber. Today a police officer sat in my chair who was also a regular of mine. He started to tell me that he wasn't going to watch sports anymore this year because he was tired of seeing all the athletes taking a knee. When I asked him why, he said it's because he had too many friends die for that flag. As a veteran, I had to educate him on why those people actually died. We don't fight for a piece of cloth. And I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that flag does not represent fallen soldiers. That flag represents liberty and justice for all. And until all receive liberty and justice, that piece of polyester blend is meaningless. It's a harsh truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. All in all, I feel really good about the conversation that we had, and I really think that these are the conversations that need to be taking place. They're not easy, but they are necessary.
Yesterday, in my home state of Minnesota, a black man named George Floyd died shortly after being arrested by police. George was arrested on suspicion of forgery, a nonviolent crime, and after initially resisting police, was eventually handcuffed and put to the ground. That's when a white officer kneeled on the back of George's neck for at least 7 minutes. George cried out, "I can't breathe." Bystanders begged and pleaded for the officer to let off of his neck, but he continued. Despite losing consciousness after several minutes, that white officer continued to kneel on the back of George's neck until the ambulance arrived. Shortly after being taken away by the ambulance, George died. Black lives matter, but once again, it is shown that society doesn't think that they do. George should still be alive today.
Baby, I want forever. Caroline, don't you see that? I want you to be mine. 9/11, a day that we never forgetting. 11/9, a day that we all regretting. If my president is Trump, then it's relevant enough to talk about it on TV and not give a. I'm black and I'm proud. My skin is brown and I'm loud. Everybody love it when a rapper tells some lies. Well, that ain't me, homie. I guess that's a surprise. America wanna act all happy and holy, but deep down inside they like Brad and Jolie. Caroline Divine, and I won't get specific. Club Banana the illest, and it's too terrific. You can never make America great again. All you ever did was make this country hate again.
They could have rioted a different way, MAGA. How is destroying their own community gonna help?
Remember when they tried peaceful protesting by kneeling during the Star Spangled Banner? And then y'all called them dumb and nothing literally happened? Now that the rioting happened, George Floyd's case is being taken very seriously.
Get some water and hydrate because class is not over yet. Michael Donald. Michael Donald is documented as the last person in U.S. history to have been lynched. Now let me give you a little bit of background. In 1981, there was a black man on trial for the murder of a white police officer. The race is for context. Now, that ended in a mistrial. The KKK had already had a discussion that if this trial did not go in their favor, they would take matter into their own hands, which is what they did. Michael Donald had absolutely nothing to do with this trial. They saw him walking down the street. He was headed to the store. They held him at gunpoint, slit his throat, and hung him by a tree. Now, if you realizing that you were not taught this in school, you learned this as an adult, or you're just learning this now, there are probably other people who are in that same box. So I ask that you share this knowledge because guess what? Ignorance is no longer an excuse.
You're all right, sweetie. It'll take a second. You'll get it back.
Someone dropped their phone! Come here. I got milk. Come here. Are you okay? Did someone call 911? Here. Fuck! Just keep pressure on it.
The police are shooting people.
We need to get that in there. Call 911.
Help!
Call 911.
Help us! She's bleeding! Okay, so these guys over here are holding a support the police sign because apparently that's the most important issue right now. All right, so we got some people with support the police signs. So Emily and I are here with our honk if you support Black Lives Matter sign. I'm sorry, but we're gonna go on this side so we can stay away from you guys.
Because we're actually hoping more people will come, and if they do, they're going to want to be on that corner where you are.
The fact that the grown-ass adults are this petty. These dudes right here just called us the R slur. This Karen over here really just said they obviously have nothing better to do. Like, dude, you're doing the same thing. Like, you have nothing better to do either. Like, at least we're protesting something that fucking matters. Thank you so much.
Please help send customers are screaming because I don't want you to get shielded. I don't want it to be like this anymore.
Y'all gonna say that was messed up what they did.
We could literally shoot somebody in the face. And if it's the police, it must have been their fault. It must have been their fault.
Something snapped, I think, with the policeman and the other three watching it.
Who are in charge of the peace and order out here murdering people.
He was very peaceful until they started throwing canisters.
Black lives matter. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge. Don't leave them alone!
My heart hurts.
Are you okay?
Get the fuck out!
He's not doing anything! She's walking away! Hey,
pack, I'ma go get it sold. You wanna, I get ready cold. I bend over, I make a kneel. Stand on my money like my name's Shaquille. Construction man running right through these drills. I cannot breathe cause there's ice on my pills. She give me brain like that earth on chill. She makes
In case you forgot, it was March 13th, 2020. She was only 26 years old. She was a nursing student, an emergency room technician, a first responder, and an essential worker. She loved her job. In case you forgot, officers barged into the wrong home. The suspect they were looking for, you ask, already in custody. In case you forgot, her boyfriend Kenneth, a legal gun owner, fired out of fear and self-defense, hitting an officer in the leg. The officers fired back 22 times. And in case you forgot, she was shot 8 times despite the incident report listing her injuries as none. No knock order in place, no drugs to be found, and no body camera footage put her body in the ground. In case you forgot, it took 3 months to fire the officer responsible while the others were simply reassigned. In case you forgot, not one of these men have been charged. In case you forgot, Black lives still matter and we are not done. Murder is wrong and a badge should not shield them from the wrong that they've done. In case you forgot, her name was Breonna Taylor. And we are not done.
Where was this energy when white people with rifles were protesting because they couldn't get a fucking haircut? Where was this energy?
All right, just to let y'all know, a cop car or something was set on fire, so I'm leaving. And I was gonna protest peacefully and walk. That stuff, no. Sorry, nah, I'm not with it.
It's the same hate that's caused wars from religion, gender to skin color, the complexion of your pigment. The same fight that led people to walkouts and sit-ins. It's human rights for everybody. There is no difference. Live on and be yourself. When I was at church, they taught me something else. If you preach hate at the service, those words aren't anointed. That holy water that you soak in has been poisoned. When everyone else is more comfortable remaining voiceless rather than fighting for humans that have had their rights stolen. I might not be the same, but that's not important. No freedom till we're equal. Damn right I support it.